now, anytime we see a true story, we think, can we do this as a documentary or a docuseries? Because the streamers, the money that they spend on these features and docuseries, it is a legitimate business now. And so that's really exciting. We find stories from all sources. It really is amazing where IP comes from these days, and what you can mine. So there are no real rules. The projects that we do, we self-generate, but we like to go find our own and build them from scratch.
I think we found a formula, which is this kind of built-in community of people that have been like crying out, into the abyss. Notice us, notice this, and they're finding each other and self-organizing, right? And then we come along and amplify it out via a company like Amazon. So, it's always about the people with lived experience, right?
We found the streamers will pay well for a lot of these docuseries now.
Because again, there are no rules. So I would say that's probably the most exciting thing. And it's really fun for filmmakers.
Have you faced any professional ethical dilemmas?
Gosh, you know what? I must say nothing has popped to mind other than I suppose there's times when you need to, how transparent are you in a given moment? And sometimes, it's not about lying, but it's about how quickly or, how much information do you divulge at one time versus holding stuff back for certain purposes. But we're always upfront with whomever rights we're getting. We tell them, and we are very upfront with people before we get their rights so that they're walking into something that they don't feel like they're, getting the rug pulled out. But that being said, it's still hard.
There's a lot of legal issues that come up within the process. And so how much does your law degree come into play?
And I will say the law, yes, you can be a producer without having a law degree. Does it help? Yeah, sure. I think that I kind of joke, but I think it's true is that at least now, if I'm going to go get, myself into a pickle, I know I'm getting myself into a pickle. I'm walking into it in eyes wide open. I'm not getting hoodwinked with anything.
What did you find to be the really unique challenges of this project?
One of the things was to get people to actually share their stories, right?
We try and think of ourselves as a for-profit company. So how do we actually sustain ourselves as a business?
Stories that are based on people who were marginalized or silenced and harmed in some way, the people who were so brave to do it and just put themselves out there and to be so raw and vulnerable and just completely share their truth.
And that was how we have been looking to finance our company.
We are asking these people to talk about their deep pain in a very public format, Prime Video is global.
I think that the biggest things that the survivors really, how vulnerable they were and how really so personal some of their pain and their stories were, and that they put it out there for us. And I think that's really important. And I hope our survivors, understand that, know that, and that they've done a service.